The topic of this video is MobileCirc. That is Circ Dynix's mobile application to be used by library staff to perform some of the operations that you could perform on the Workflows desktop app, but this has the benefit of being on either a tablet or a mobile device. This application is available on both iOS and Android devices. I'm currently displaying it on an Apple device, but the process that I'm about to show for installing it would be just about the same, downloading it from the Google Play Store. So for Apple devices, I will begin by going to the App Store, this icon in the bottom left. As the App Store opens, it's going to take you to the Today view. At the bottom right, there's a search function. You click on the search field there, and you type in MobileCirc, and search, and you get one result back. You should only get one result back. You're going to see this little cloud icon if you've ever downloaded it to your account before. If you've never downloaded it to your account, it'll say install or install now, something like that. So I'm just going to click on this little cloud icon to mean download and install it again. We can see it's making a little bit of progress there. And in just a second, we'll be able to touch on the open button. And then it's opening MobileCirc. So the next step is a license activation. All this is just to ensure that we are indeed a Circ Dynix client to be able to authenticate on their servers. So we're going to come here to Jazzy North. Here under the Resource tab, we're going to go down to the MobileCirc section. Now if I come back and show the iPad here, if I click on either one of these barcode symbols in either one of those text fields, it's going to say, oh, MobileCirc wants access to your camera. You click on OK, and you can see where this little red bar is. It's looking for a barcode right now. So if I line that up with my screen, you can see that just scanning that QR code has filled out the activation URL and the activation key. So that's going to save you from having to type all that jargon in. So all you have to do after that is touch the Activate button. So now you're seeing your initial setup screen. You're going to have to pick your institution here. So right now it's going to Addington because they're currently first alphabetically in our list. But here you can see the long list of all of our Jazzy client libraries. So you just got to go find yourself in this list, and then that'll be your default library when you sign on. I'll pick one. And then you click on the Apply button. Don't worry about the Change Activation Key button. You'll only have to ever activate this once. So now it's just doing a quick check for update. And now that the update has been performed, you're taken to a login screen to sign in. So now that we've performed our app installation and our authentication, we are ready to move on to logging on and actually using the program. So here we see the login screen. All it's asking for is the same login account and password that you would use to log into Workflows. So whether that's the Super account, the Tech account, the Circ account that we've set up for you, any of those that you normally use, you use the same information here to log in and the same password associated with that account. And now that we're logged in, we can see the list of wizards available for the MobileCirc app. You can see that it's not as fully featured as Workflows, but it has the wizards in MobileCirc that you would want while you're on a mobile device and not attached to your Circ desk or even outside of the library. Before I get too far in, I want to show you what it looks like to pair a Bluetooth scanner to this device. So I will come over here to the camera. Now there you can see that's our Bluetooth scanner. It's called the Socket Mobile. But pretty much any Bluetooth scanner should work with your device as long as it scans Codabar. There's no reason why it wouldn't work with your mobile device. It's a pretty simple little scanner here. We just hit this button to pair it to the tablet, and then I'll go back here into MobileCirc, and you can see the keyboard disappeared. With Apple devices, while you have a Bluetooth device paired, you'll never see your virtual keyboard on your screen. So if ever you need the keyboard and the Bluetooth scanner, you just have to remember to turn off your scanner. And if you listen, I'll turn it off. And in a second, the keyboard shows up here. And then if I turn the scanner back on, the keyboard disappears, and I can't pull up that keyboard while this is paired. So just keep that in mind. It gave us a little bit of a head scratch when we first found that out. So here we have the wizards available to us. So I have a demo card here in front of me and a couple items. So I'm just going to do a basic checkout. So I'm going to start by using the paired Bluetooth scanner. I'm going to scan the user card. Pulls up the user information, and now it's asking for the item to circulate. So I'll just come here, I'll scan the item, and you can see that it's checked out. There's the item and the title, or the start of the title of it, and then here you can see the information. You don't have to hit checkout because when you do your scan, it does a carriage return at the same time, so you don't have to worry about scanning it and hitting the checkout button every time. If you had 5-6 items that this user was checking out, you would scan their card and then scan each item once, and then down here you would see the list of items fill out as you scanned them in. So you can see the due date showed up here based on the rules, and that's all there is to it. Just like the checkout wizard, we can go down to the next one, to the check-in wizard, and you can see here that we have this button. This is the last item that we were looking at. Just like in workflows, how you either have the link or the button that shows up sometimes of like, oh, here's the current item or here's the current user. You'll see that functionality in the appropriate wizards in MobileCirc as well. So I could scan, that's the book I'm going to check in, so I could scan it, or I could just hit the button, which is what I'll do here. And similarly, you can see here that you got the details for the check-in. Normally this would say stacks. This just says reference because of how we have our demo items set up here in the OLS North office. That has nothing to do with what that will look like for you guys. Most of the time this should just say stacks. Going down the line, we have renew by item. So if you wanted to renew an item and you had the barcode in front of you, you could scan it. You've got that little checkbox right here for seen or unseen. If you leave this unchecked, it's unseen. If you're tracking that sort of thing, and then you would just scan the item and it would renew it. Right now this item's not checked out, so it won't be renewed. In-house use, this will let you scan an item and it'll increment that in-house use stat that you see in workflows. It'll increment that by 1 by using this here. Item status is just for looking up the status of an item, so I will click on that just to show what that looks like, and similar to when we checked it in, you just get this display, the item status shown right here. Moving on to the next wizard, we've got holds by user. So if I check on this user, I imagine it won't have any holds. This is a demo user, so I'm not sure what is going on this account. Oh, I will refresh the screen here. You can see that it says user has no holds, so that's okay. I'm going to skip over inventory for now, and I'm just going to show the add user wizard. So this is just the same as the new user registration in workflows. There's a couple extra options. There's take a photo. We're not taking photos, so you can skip over that. Don't ever have auto-generate ID selected. You need to scan your barcode so that you ensure that you get your prefix in there. User type, that'll be determined on the types, or it might show all of them. So these are all the user types available, so you'll have to scroll down to your library to do, and then pick your patron type that you want. Library, you should always have just your library picked. I have Jazzy picked because that's what I'm doing on this demo. Don't change the charge history rule. Scan driver license barcode, we're not doing any of that, so don't scan that in. You can just skip over that because it's not a required field. And then the rest, it looks a lot like the user registration in workflows. You add title, first name, middle name, last name, and so on. And here you can see like all these address 1, it looks just like address 1 in workflows. And you fill in as much or as little of that as you like based on your library policy, and then you would hit add at the bottom there, and that would add your patron. Modify user, just like modify user in workflows, so I can pull up this guy, the demonstration user here. In just a second. So there, let's say I wanted to give this person a middle initial. So I'll have to turn off the Bluetooth scanner, like I said. That'll let the keyboard show up. I'll hit Q to give them a middle initial. Where's the OK button? Oh, modify down at the bottom there. So it says user's been updated, modify another user, or make more changes. So just to show that this, if I go get user information here, it should show that middle initial has been updated. So there it is, the queue has been saved here. So that's about all you can do in workflows. Oh, that's right, I passed over the inventory. So I'll go back to that. Inventory now, just like you would in workflow, if you were using workflows to do your inventory scans, you need to let the Jazzy help desk know first so that we can run those initial reports to start your inventory. That doesn't change, but once we know about your inventory and that we start it and you hear back from us saying, okay, you can start scanning your items, that's when you could come into this, into the MobileCirc with your Bluetooth scanner and with your iPad or mobile device, and you could walk down the aisles scanning the items one by one instead of having to collect them on a cart, bring them back to your Circ desk, and doing it that way and walking back and forth. And this is just as simple as it looks. You just scan an item and it will inventory it. We don't have an inventory set up right now, so I'm not going to scan that, but that's how it works. It's just that simple. So that's about all there is.